Hello there, and welcome to another episode of Unleash Love. My name is Clément Young, and I'm your host. And today, by the way, I'm wearing this new apparel here, the new merch that we launched recently. So this is a really beautiful hoodie, and it feels great. It looks super comfortable, and it looks awesome. And thank you so much to everyone who bought a hoodie or a t-shirt. We really appreciate it, and you know who you are. Thank you so much. We are so grateful for your support. So the question today that I'm going to answer is, should someone in a relationship have a close friend of the opposite sex? It's a great question, and it's a little bit more complicated than I thought when I first saw it. So I started to answer this question, and then I figured, actually this is a little bit more complex. So let me try and explain to you. If you've ever heard the saying, men and women can't be platonic, then you're not alone, right? That's a very popular, or there's like a bunch of phrases or quotes that are kind of similar to that, basically saying men and women can't be together because they're gonna want to mate. And while that may be true on a primal level, I think in the society today, it's totally not true. Just look around you. You can see these relationships all the time, these friendships. They're everywhere. So that's totally untrue. However, there are there are kind of situations where that dynamic needs to be kind of, I guess, put under scrutiny. And what I'm trying to say is, yes, it's okay for men and women to have friendships, but there is a point when you kind of have to question yourself, what is really going on here? So if you're in a relationship with someone and you trust them and you appreciate the fact that they have values and principles, and you've had a conversation about boundaries and all of that, then there shouldn't be any problems. You shouldn't be finding yourself in an uncomfortable situation wondering where your partner is and what they're doing with someone, right? Now, that is if they have the values and principles and the moral code of ethics to kind of navigate life in a fair and pleasant and productive way. If someone doesn't have those, then they are going to put you in, or they might put you in situations where you're worried about the validity of your relationship. You're worried about what they're doing, whether they're taking advantage of you behind your back. And so you have to have that conversation, and you have to be good at really weighing up what's actually happening. I would say it's fine to have a friend of the opposite sex. And if you want to have a coffee with them one day, for example, then that's fine. If it's every day, that's a weird thing. If it's more than twice a week, that's a weird thing. If you want to go and watch a movie with them alone, if you want to go to a club, if you want to go to a bar, that's weird. That's not okay. It's not normal. And like I said, anyone with the values and the principles who's in a relationship wouldn't necessarily do that, not necessarily, they wouldn't do that to their partner, because anyone who's got, any kind of bearing emotionally and psychologically is going to be wondering what is going on here. Like, why am I not the one that they're spending, or why are they not with their girlfriends instead? Why is it another dude? Why is it another woman if you're a guy, right? So you must be able to put things into perspective. I'm not saying this never happens. I'm very sure that there will be situations where, in a relationship, there's a man or a woman who have an opposite sex friend, and they spend all the time together, and there's no problem whatsoever. I am aware that there will be these kind of fringe relationships that just work. But as a general rule of thumb, I genuinely think that you should avoid being in a relationship with someone who doesn't understand those boundaries, right? It's not the dynamic, it's not the relationship between men and women that's the problem. It's the people in the relationship in society today. And why I say society today is because, yes, historically, right, in the caveman ages, let's just say, right, when we were wandering around with leopard skin underwear, then I think that it would have been an issue regardless if a man and a woman were together and you were in a relationship. I don't even know if relationships existed back then. But today, in today's society, with all of these frameworks and this kind of set of rules for living and jobs and the economy and all of that, I think today it's totally fine as long as you understand where your partner is mentally and emotionally, and you've had that conversation and you're willing to trust each other, I think it's healthy to allow that to happen as long as you don't overstep those boundaries. And those boundaries are, maybe you shouldn't be going to the cinema with them, maybe you shouldn't be going to the club or the bar with them, and maybe you shouldn't be seeing them alone too often, right? I hope that helps you. I hope that lets you navigate that space a little bit easier. I know it's a problem for a lot of you. Let me know what your questions are in the comments. Let us know what you thought about this one. And thank you for listening and watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.